Hey guys, thank you for joining. If you're new here, my name is Brennan. I am a part-time reseller. Today is Tuesday, February 15th, and I want to talk about how awesome this community is real quick. You're probably wondering why you're looking at these exercise bands and whatnot here on the screen. So one of the viewers here reached out to me as he picked up some Grateful Dead tapes at a flea market and instantly thought of me, which I thought was really, really awesome. So I reached out to him just to ask about, how much he would want for them, and he just decides that he's going to give them to me, which I thought was extremely, extremely nice. I tried twice to offer to pay, and that's part of my deal. I will offer twice, and if you don't take my money after two times, then I'm going to take it for free. So that's how I roll. But anyway, so Brian, I really do appreciate it. I think it's really, really, really nice of you. Um, and he mentioned that he has a company, Stretchwell Inc., which I think we could all benefit from. I've been working out a little bit here as the new year has come around. So, so what Brian's company provides here, and I'll just read this real quick for you. They offer high quality PT and fitness products at highly competitive prices. So Brian, if you need, a spokesperson or anything like that, just hit me up. No, but seriously, I think this is really awesome. And again, with this community, we're all about, people doing things and building their own thing. So this is awesome. So I just wanted to put this out there for anyone that would be interested. And onto normal schedule stuff, I guess. So I'm going to go over, as it's been a while since I've gone over what has sold. So I've got 20 items up here. I'm going to go through some of them, and we'll talk through them. All right, so up first, we're going to start here with this vintage Domino's pizza pen. So I went to an estate sale maybe about a month or two back, um, and they had a bin of just Domino's old Domino's stuff. Anyway, so this bin was 10 bucks. So I went ahead and bought the whole bin. Tons of pens, tons of Noid stuff. We got frisbees, just all types of really, really cool little Domino's pizza things. If you guys are interested, you can check the eBay store. They're all out there. This one sold for $10. Catch the Spirit. Nice little flare there. This was another one I've sold. Two of these. I have one left. This is the Safe Driver pen. This one sold for 12. So yeah, this was a really good bin. Lots of little things. Nothing selling over 20 or 30 bucks by itself, but the volume was just fantastic. Like I have 92 keychains. The sold comps, there's only a few that have sold, but the sold comps are like 10 bucks, so that's what I have them listed at. So obviously, if you do the math, if I sell 92 of them at 10 bucks a pop, that's quite a nice little profit. So we'll see how that one rolls. We'll keep you guys updated. Big Mouth Billy Bass. I don't know if I talked about this one or not. This was also an estate sale find, I believe. I'm assuming most everyone knows, anything gimme, this brand here is typically going to be worth looking up. The bass, people still love this thing. It is pretty funny, I must admit. So this one sold for 40. This was really random. I picked this up at a thrift store for $1. This is a Walk Blaster Ramp Aerobic Stepper. Lots of mouthful. This did sell for 60. It's a pain in the butt to ship if you do find one. Just the size of it is a little odd. But this was still from $1 to 60. Cannot complain. Here we've got a pound or 20 pounds of Legos. Um, so though I haven't done a whole lot of videos, I have still been buying. And this is another shout out to the community. So you guys may have seen Froggy Flips had a video maybe a month back or so, where he was in Cincinnati and he met up with I don't know if it was a friend of his or just someone that he knew that had just a ton of stuff and was in the process of moving. So Froggy bought a lot, a whole heck of a lot of great stuff. But there was still a whole lot left, and he could not take any more, so he kicked it over to John. John bought a whole lot. He couldn't take any more, so he kicked it over to me, and I bought a whole lot. I bought the Legos he gave me an insane deal on. I don't know I don't remember the total amount of pounds of Legos, but close to 100, 150 pounds or so. Um, and I paid 200 for the Legos, and then I bought a bunch of Transformers. I'll show you some of those here in a little bit as well, for 600. So I paid 800 for everything. I have not actually gone through and done all the numbers yet. I'll do that in another video, but I know that I'm into the profit at this point. So with these Legos, I really don't like Legos. They're kind of a pain in the butt, especially when they're loose. But what I've seen is that if you can just do bulk pounds of them, it's pretty simple and they go pretty quickly. So this was a 20 pound, just a lot of random, random stuff that went for 65. Here we've got Escort Passport 8500. These are really great to find if you see them. I got this at an estate sale. I think it was only $1. This one did not have a charger, so I listed it much lower than I would have had I been able to test it or whatnot. So it did sell for 50. It sold in like a day. I think with the charger tested and working, this is closer to an $80 radar detector. So keep an eye out for those. Here we've got the vintage Scream mask. So this one is an Easter Unlimited, and the way you can tell if it's one of the original ones, it's engraved in here. It just, it's got kind of a handmade feel to it. So that's what you want to look out for. My buddy Tony, he bought a ton of these over this past Halloween season from one of his Goodwills had a bunch of them. I don't know if they had the original ones, but I know he bought a lot and he did very, very well. So definitely keep an eye out for this. This was a thrift store purchase. I want to say I paid $4 or $5 for this guy. This McDonald's blazer, I've had this forever. As you can tell, this picture was actually taken back in the basement. Um, Actually, I think I got someone, they threw this in when I bought the two McDonald Playland sets that I bought a while back and sold. So I've had this for a long time. I had it listed pretty high. I eventually took an offer of 65 on that. All right, so now we've got some Department 56 here. So we'll take a quick break here and let's look at a little bit of Excel for you guys. All right, so if you remember a little while back, I overpaid for some Halloween Department 56 items. Um, I overpaid. I mean, I paid 950 for everything. It was definitely a lot. Um, I currently have, let's see, one, two, three. So I have about 4 items from that initial buy left. I'm at 629 in profit, which is good. I mean, again, like I said, I did overpay. I would have loved, had this been, a normal type of garage sale find, that I could have maybe gotten all this for 300 to 500 bucks. That would have been awesome. But either way, I've sold the actual 1795, then profit here 629. So very happy about that. Now I know I had mentioned that he had a bunch of Christmas stuff that I was also potentially going to pick up as well. So I was able to get that. It was very close to Christmas. I got it on the 15th of December. I wasn't sure how fast a lot of this stuff would sell. It's moved very, very well. I've sold 32 of them. I think I have about 13 or so left. Again, I overpaid. I mean, there's no two ways around it. I paid 14.50 for all of these items, but I am at 11.27 in profit right now with 13 left, so I should very easily double what I paid. So I'm happy with the profit. Obviously, I would have loved it to have been cheaper, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these that have sold. So up first here, this is Visiting Santa at Feinstrom's. This one sold for 95. Nothing super, super special with this one. It's, relatively solid. Lights up, pretty cool looking. All right, and we'll get to some more of those here shortly. Here, this came from an estate sale. This is a Bose Center model, or Bose Lifestyle 5. This one sold for 95. I paid 100. I bought this as well as the the Series 3 subwoofer. I still have that listed, so waiting for that to sell. Laser discs are, I think they're officially all gone now. This one I did not get rid of, on the cheap. This was the Godfather trilogy, and this one did sell for 100. So very cool one. All right, we've got another Department 56. This is the East Village row houses. This one sold for 135. What I have discovered with Department 56, your New York type stuff does very well, um, and I do still like selling them. I think I prefer one-offs of really really good ones at sales versus a huge lot of them. They are they have a tendency to break pretty easily, and the buyers are very picky because they're a collector type item. If things are missing or things are not 100% right, you'll hear about it. Luckily, most of these are in very good condition, and I'm pretty upfront with my listing, so I haven't had too many issues. But that's something to keep in mind if you do come stumble across a big lot of Department 56. This is one of the Halloween ones, Black Widow dating service. This one sold for 149.60. Here, the City Tavern in the Park I thought was a really cool one. And this one sold for 100. Same person also bought a Paramount Hotel for 60. This was a fun little find here. I've sold a couple of these over the years, and I have to assume that mid-century modern people are picking these up. I don't know if they're actually using them or if it's more for just the aesthetic. This is the Electrolux. This is a Super J. Really cool vacuum. This was in relatively good condition. I paid 25 for all of this and sold for 125. This one is really good here. This is the Rockefeller Center skating rink. This is in really nice condition. It actually moves around. The skaters move around. It's actually pretty cool little piece. And this one sold for 225. Again, New York stuff is where it's at. This is Radio City Music Hall. You can see the box is not in great condition, but everything else inside is great. This one sold for 325. Going back to the Transformers, here's one of the lots. So I had maybe 10 to 12 tubs of Transformers. It took a while to get through them. There were a lot of just kind of loose figures and pieces though. There wasn't a lot of 100% complete items. If they had all been complete, this would have been a completely different story. But this one worked out nicely here. So I put a lot of them in just loose figure parts lots, right? Just as is lots. This one was the best. This one did very very well. I'm not exactly sure why, but this one went for 227.50, which was huge. Then here, this was the best of the Department 56 that I've sold. This was the Prescott Hotel, which I am not familiar with at all. But this was very, very nice. It sold for 400. And last but not least, I don't know if I've talked about this one or not. This was a Facebook Marketplace buy. I believe I paid 125 for this guy. Very, very old school, vintage Apple, and this one sold for 450. What I really liked about this one is it's one of the smaller models, so it's much easier to ship than the big honking ones. Um, but yeah, so that's a kind of a quick rundown of 2020 sales here from the past 90 days or so. I really appreciate you guys hanging out for a little bit and just listening to me ramble and show this stuff. But yeah, I think that's it for today's video. Until next time, stay curious.